All right, so hello everyone. My name is Alexis Sims. I'm with the Family and Educator Resource Center for Henrico Family and Community Engagement. I'm happy to present to you all the science of healthy and unhealthy relationships that is presented in collaboration with our Henrico Commonwealth Attorney Office as well as our Henrico Area Mental Health. So I will go ahead and turn it over to you, Cynthia.
Thank everyone for being here tonight. I want to start with thanking our partners who are around the room, starting with the Virginia Anti-Violence Project, who is here to represent. There will be links available for all the groups that are present. We also have Safe Harbor, our local domestic violence shelter, Robin's Hope, which is also a domestic violence advocacy group. We have Henrico Mental Health, and we have, of course, our Henrico County Public Schools Family and Community Engagement group that has been nice enough to sponsor this series along with the Commonwealth Attorney's Office and Henrico County Victim Witness Advocates. And today we'll be presenting on different signs of healthy and unhealthy relationships and how to spot those signs. I have with me Natalie Kent from Henrico Victim Witness. I also have Erica Clark from Henrico County Victim Witness, Margaret Ransom from Henrico County Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and Ashley Cruz from Henrico County Victim Witness. So thank y'all for being here and helping me present. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about what a relationship is. And how Webster's defines a relationship is basically how the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people interact with each other and how they're connected. And so when we talk about relationships, we can talk about how people are related through family, interpersonal, such as dating, marriage, or sexual, friendships, work relationships. However, our presentation is going to focus on interpersonal relationships. And so
when we talk about signs, there are red flags everywhere. How a person acts in public and in private, how they interact with their friends and family, how they treat you.
And so when we look at flags, they can be on a spectrum. So we have flags that signal a healthy relationship, which can involve communication, respect, trusting, honest, treating your partners as equals, enjoying personal time away from each other, making mutual choices, and being economic or financial partners. But on that spectrum of a relationship, you can have what we call unhealthy relationships. And they may be not communicating, being disrespectful, not trusting, dishonest, trying to take control away from the other person, also only wanting to spend time together, pressured into activities, or having unequal economics between the partners. But along that spectrum, we can also unfortunately have abusive. So a relationship may have factors in all of these or may be consistent of only one. Part of the warning signs is that a relationship can start as healthy, transcend into unhealthy, and unfortunately end in abusive. And it's important to pay attention to the signs that may lead to an abusive relationship. An abusive relationship can be communicating in a hurtful or threatening way, mistreating the person, accusing the other of cheating when it's untrue, denying their actions are abusive, or minimizing their actions when they are abusive, being controlling, and isolating their partner from others.
Signs of an unhealthy relationship. In public, they're rude to people in the service industry, prejudice. They are very different person in public versus in private.
Also, signs of an abusive relationship can occur when you look at the relationship between that person and other people. So is your partner unfriendly toward other friends and family, calls their ex crazy and bashes them? Relationship between them and their family is not healthy. Your friends do not like your partner. Sometimes in life, your friends can be a better judge of character than you. And if all your friends dislike your partner, maybe that is a sign in itself. You never meet their friends or family, and they isolate you from your friends, family, and activities that you enjoy.
Most importantly is how they treat you. They have a lack of respect. They love bomb, excessive jealousy or insecurity, invasions of your privacy, wants your password and expects you to respond immediately, unexpected bouts of anger or rage, unusual moodiness, pressuring a partner into unwanted sexual activity, blaming you for problems in the relationship and not taking any responsibility for theirs, and controlling tendencies. Explosive temper, preventing you from going out with or talking to other people, constantly monitoring your whereabouts and checking in to see what you are doing and who you are with, falsely accusing you of things, vandalizing or ruining your personal property, taunting or bullying, threatening or doing physical violence, shoving to punching, slaps. No one should lay their hands on you, insulting and putting your partner down.
And sometimes flags can be a signal that can be interpreted either way. So one of the things that Natalie's mentioned was love bombing. Love bombing means basically inundating the person with texts, messages, phone calls on social media. And at first, when you start a new relationship, it may be nice to get all this attention from the other person. But when that attention starts taking away from other parts of your life, that may be when you want to start looking at it as a possible red flag. One of the common things that we see in our job is something that people refer to as gaslighting. And that's when your partner starts minimizing your feelings. So when you're upset about something, that's when they make comments such as, you shouldn't be so sensitive. It wasn't as bad as you thought. Sometimes they go even as far as to say that it never happened. That you're crazy and everyone thinks so. I had someone once who would tell their partner that all of their friends had come to the partner and said, I don't know what's wrong with the victim. You need to do something about it. And what that accomplished was the victim didn't feel comfortable going to any of her friends to talk about the abuse that was in the relationship. You have a terrible memory. You should have known how I react. So why did you do that knowing that this is how I would react to you? And the ultimate apology, which I'm saying sarcastically, is I'm sorry you think I hurt you. And what we see with a lot of people who suffered from being gaslit is that they feel crazy and they don't feel like anyone's going to take them seriously and they don't feel like anyone's going to listen to them. So if your partner's not making you feel respected or valued and are doing some of these things, then that would be a sign of an abusive relationship and a red flag that you should look out for.
Red flags on social media. These days, everybody's meeting partners, potential friends on the internet through Instagram, old school Facebook, occasionally Twitter, maybe. But there are all sorts of ways, and there's some red flags to look out for. One, and I have a list of about 13. Number one, relationship status always says single, not willing to change it, just wants it to be single for whatever reason they give. Number two, always leaving flirty comments on public forums, putting things out there on Snapchat that are flirty, not appropriate, maybe make you uncomfortable, but making comments publicly about you or another person. Number three, always messaging the opposite sex, sliding in those DMs, sending secret messages, These days, with things like Snapchat, you can send a disappearing message. It can be watched once and it disappears. Doesn't mean it didn't happen. But when they're sending messages to people of the opposite sex, that should be a red flag that maybe something's up. Number 4, your friends are noticing your partner's behavior. As Cynthia was just saying, your friends are a great compass to kind of look at your relationship. And so if they kind of start making comments, that's a really good red flag to think, maybe I need to take a step back. Number 5, they won't follow you. Maybe you follow them or have friended them, but they won't reciprocate that on social media. Number 7, they post provocative pictures. Number 8, they won't follow your friends and family. Maybe you follow their friends and family, but they refuse to friend your mom, your dad, your siblings, maybe your best friend. They don't want to make any connections on social media with those people. Number 9, they follow jerks. They follow those people that we all see on social media that are just plain rude and not nice people. And they seem to like that. That should be a red flag. They follow explicit accounts. They follow accounts with inappropriate material, suggestive pictures. Number 11, their ex seems more important to them than you. Maybe they follow their ex. They keep Snapchatting with their ex. They're not paying attention to you, but here they are Snapchatting their ex or sending them a DM. Number 12, your partner is always on social media. You go out to dinner, you're sitting watching a movie, you're watching TV, and your partner's not paying attention to you. Your partner's just looking at their phone, constantly posting, constantly reacting, not giving you the attention you deserve. Number 13, your partner monitors your every move. This is when your partner's watching all your posts, watching all your activity online, seeing who you're commenting, having conversations with, even when it's totally platonic, totally normal conversation, but they want to know what you're doing, where you're doing it, and how you're doing it.
So when we talk about LGBTQ relationships, individuals experiencing dating abuse in the LGBTQ relationships may experience or feel the following. They may feel like their partner will try to turn the community against them if they do something that their partner disagrees with, or if they decide to end the relationship. They may be worried that their partner will out them to family and friends if they're not out already, or their partner may threaten to out them as a way to gain power and control over them. They may also be in their first LGBTQ relationship, and their partner may be isolating them from the rest of the queer community as a form of power and control. They may be made to feel ashamed about their sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression by their partner. Individuals may also feel like their partner is the only person that will ever love them because of their sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. They may not have his, her, or their preferred pronouns respected. And lastly, they may be worried that they won't be able to get help because of their sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression if they reach out. Everyone, regardless of gender, sexual orientation, or gender expression, deserves a healthy relationship where they are treated with respect and valued for who they are. Remember, you are worth it.
There are some signs that parents can look out for in terms of healthy or unhealthy relationships. To get ahead of the issue, look for red flags in your teen when they are in a relationship, such as acting withdrawn, depressed, or anxious, changes in activities, incessantly checking in with a partner, overly self-critical or insecure, secretive, or apologetic for a partner's negative actions. However, healthy relationships exist and are common. Some of the relationship green flags that exist include self-responsibility, supporting your personal growth, practicing self-care, being self-reflective, having long-standing friendships, being empathetic, being vulnerable, being spiritual, being self-sufficient, having healthy hobbies, communicating openly, and honoring boundaries. Now, signs of a healthy team relationship. Teens give each other space to hang out with friends and family. It's a good sign when teens are balancing all of the relationships in their lives, as well as continuing to pursue hobbies and activities outside of their romantic partnership. It's okay to disagree. Communication is key. Feeling comfortable disagreeing and expressing your opinion is important. Boundaries are respected. Consent and affirmative consent is key, including not pressuring someone to drink alcohol or do drugs in an effort to engage in sexual activity. Feel like they can go where they want to go and what they like to do, without a fear of a partner being upset or trying to control them. Teens exhibit healthy texting behavior. If texts become abusive or someone is pressuring for them to send private photos, it might be time to talk about digital boundaries.
One option parents have is to talk about what we call the respect challenge. And basically, this is a contract between you and your children about what their expectations in a relationship can be. So this offers 10 tips to talk about healthy relationship with teens, and it encourages open, honest, and thoughtful reflection. You can be sensitive and firm, understanding teen development, which basically means adolescence is all about experimentation. Sometimes teens, and those of you with teens know what we're talking about, sometimes there's mood swings to risk-taking to what we consider normal teenage behavior can appear anything but normal. However, what the research is showing us is that the brain development during these years play a significant role in your young teen's personality and actions. And knowing what is normal is critical to helping you better understand and guide young people. And what I would add to that is that the best way to understand your child's development is having these conversations with them. Thank you. Make the most of teachable moments. And as examples, they said, use TV episodes, movies, the news, community events, situations involving their friends to have conversations about what is healthy and unhealthy in relationships. Discuss how to be an upstander. An upstander, which is basically meaning if your child sees something that is unhealthy, what can they do to intervene, or what should they do to intervene, and make suggestions and talk to them about what that means. Also, focus on the positive. Conversations about relationships do not need to focus solely on risky behavior. You can also use these teachable moments to reinforce what are positive moments. Be an active participant in your young teen's life. We've talked about some flags that parents can look at. If you see these things happening, try to have discussions with your children about what is causing this. You know, if they're always texting their partner, ask them about that, or find a way to relate it to something else that's going on in their lives. If there's something, you know, sometimes we have to do a little research. If, you know, we can find a movie that perhaps talks about the issue you're seeing, perhaps you can convince them to watch the movie with you and happen to bring up whatever is going on with them. And finally, be prepared to make mistakes. When you start having these conversations, you know, teenagers don't always want to talk to you about these things. So keep trying. And, you know, they may react a different way as how you address it. But one of the most important things you can do is try to keep communicating with your teenager about what is going on in their lives to make sure that they're not going through these unhealthy relationships or having issues in their relationships that they don't feel like they can have support for.
All right, healthy relationships. All healthy relationships, whether they're friendship, roommate, or romantic, have similar characteristics. Consider the following lists when thinking about your own relationships. Do you treat each other with respect? Do you feel secure and comfortable? Are you violent with each other? Can you resolve conflicts satisfactorily? Do you enjoy the time you spend together? Do you support one another? Do you take interest in each other's lives, school, clubs, friends, family, work, etc.? Do you have privacy in the relationship? Are each sexual by choice? Do you communicate clearly and openly? Do you have letters, phone calls, and email that are your own? Do you encourage other friendships outside of your relationship? And do you know that most people in your life are happy about the relationship? And you have more good times in the relationship than bad? And finally, can you trust each other?
And now I'm going to invite one of our partners, Winnie, to come up and talk about the Safe Date program.
Good evening. I'm Winnie Williams. I'm a family support partner with Henrico Area Mental Health. Safe Dates is a curriculum on adolescent dating abuse that we have been presenting in Henrico County Public Schools since the mid 2000s. It's an evidence-based curriculum that talks about relationships. It helps the young people define what is an appropriate relationship, what is an abusive relationship. We do role plays with the young people in during school. It takes place in the school system, where they're actually able to role play out and see what's a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship. We talk about different scenarios, how to help their friends, and we talk about power and control in a relationship setting. We have been doing, like I said, this in the school system, and we do it in the community as well at different churches and things like that. But it is an evidence-based teen dating violence curriculum that we offer to the community and to the schools. And this just tells you basically what I just said. If you are requesting these services, you can call 804-727-8053, or you can email Jacqueline Smith White at smi04@henrico.us. And Jacqueline is the program manager for prevention services for Henrico County. Thank you.
Thank everyone for paying attention and listening. Does anyone have any questions?